excited to be here at the NAFED Conference and Expo here with the Fire Protection Podcast in New Orleans. Really cool expo inside, as well as 2/3 days of trainings and seminars. So, all right, thanks guys for stopping by this little impromptu Fire Protection Podcast. We're here obviously at NAFED, as I said earlier, last of 3 events, and this is the last event where the transition of presidency happened. So, right?
Yeah.
That what happened? So we got Aaron Dickens from Columbia Fire and Allen Quirk from Rapidly/Rapid. Yeah. Thanks for making this happen, guys.
Yeah.
You're welcome. So Aaron's finishing his term 22 to 24.
Yep. I've been on the board of NAFED since 2017. This chair role ends up, it's a 2-year term, so it ends up Friday, and pass the reins over to Allen. That's been a great experience for me.
Yeah, I start that role as the chair, and I just am finishing my term for the last 3 years as the Region 6 director, which is the West Coast for NAFED. So looking very much forward to the opportunity here with this association. I've been coming to these meetings for 43 years.
Oh, no way, really?
43 years. My first one was Atlantic City a long time ago. So yeah, it's very exciting to be in that role. And good news for me is Aaron now stays on as a past chair.
Yeah.
So he is in that role for a year, plus all of the others that have been along with NAFED all these years, all the chairs and the past chairs and vice chairs. So there's a lot of support there with our health, and we've got NAFED, Danny, and all his staff that just does such a great job of putting these events there, which makes it very nice for everybody.
In the 43 years, I mean, that's a long time. What is the association like kind of evolved to, but it also, how has it helped you guys personally and professionally over the year?
Well, I would say, one of the biggest things is all of the new electronic items that have now been coming to our industry. The 5-pound extinguisher looks the same as it did years ago. Yeah, right. Not much difference in any of that as far as the make, the model, the type. The ratings have increased on some. Other than that, it's the same. But as far as the value, what I've found is the opportunity to talk to people that come here and say, hey, I've got this problem. Have you ever experienced? And sure enough, they just dealt with it.
Sure.
And they solved it. So the networking and the interaction here is what really is so valuable with an association like this and a group like this from around the country. Because it's not your competitor, so you don't mind sharing with him what it is that you're doing or what you learned, or you're asking him. And so that's a big thing.
Yeah. And it's obviously split up in 3 regions, so you kind of did that.
Yeah, I think some people know about NAFED just because of the NAFED ITC cert, because in a lot of states, there's like 30 states, there's recognized you can do fire suppression work or fire extinguisher work if you have that certification. If you're outside of those states, like in part of my career, I was out of those states.
Yeah.
I just did not know about NAFED.
Right.
And so I think there's a lot of benefits from NAFED people don't know. There's just in the last couple of years, we've added some. So Dave Pelton, if you're not familiar with he's huge as a technical resource. I've had technical questions. I had questions about captive air systems because there's no manufacturer training from that unless you're a distributor, and called him and he knew all the answers, sent me all the data sheets, everything. But he's produced a lot of content in the last couple of years. He created this licensing guide for 50 states. So if I go work in a neighboring state, if I'm in Utah and want to go to Nevada, I have a registry of everything, where to go, who to contact, what the fees are, how to get licensed to that state. That's a great resource. The tag program, like you can buy tags super cheap, way cheaper than where I've ever seen anywhere else with the NAFED logo. There's reputation is the industry and the mark of NAFED. But there's a ton of benefits that we don't hit on all the time, but these conferences are great. The people I've met over the last few years coming to the conferences and networking, it's just been a great thing for me personally. And the conference, we just had a board meeting yesterday. We looked at the conference attendance rate, and it's never been as high as this year.
Wow.
Every year it goes up. The membership goes up. Wow. yeah, it's good for the association. It's good for the attendees because they're now networking with people they've never met before. One goal of mine over the last 5 years has been to get younger people involved in the organization. And there's so many ways you can serve, as you know, on technical committees. You're sitting on some, but in board meetings and everything, there's so many different ways people can serve. But yeah, I love the association. It's been good for me in the last few years.
A lot of fun.
That's one of the goals we talked about at our board meeting was how do we bring new people into this? Most young people don't know what a fire extinguisher technician is.
Right.
They know about being a carpenter. They can go to that. They can become a union electrician. There's all those things people understand, but nobody understands. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Fire protection technician, service work, manager, designer, all the things that are out in our industry. So we're talking about various ways we could reach out to that group, because as we got there this morning, you asked everybody to stand that's under 40. We had maybe a dozen stand up.
Yeah.
And we just need to bring up that new generation into our industry. So that's one of the goals that we have moving forward to see what we can do with that. So it's an exciting time. And we want to thank everybody that is a member and has been a part of this to help it success.
No, it's helped me out professionally, and even before, the podcast and the spec point, it's always, I go to the Atlantic City show when I got to do it. You get to network and just see new products and ideas, and it's very tight.
So as you've seen, Drew, with Spec Point, all of your customers probably, there's not as many companies that are segmented in one service offering anymore. Right. So that's been one thing I think our association's done really well, is start to address the needs of other things. So if you look at the conferences the last 3-4 years, we've got topics on clean agent and fire alarm, fire sprinklers, and we're not just the portable extinguisher group anymore.
Right.
Trying to expand the audience. We're also trying to have better paths for attendees at these conferences. We have a technician path and a manager path. So not just a service manager can come and benefit, but you could bring all your technicians and they have stuff they can learn in one group, and you're learning over here.
And that's what NAFED works on when they get together, the planning committee for our annual meetings, is what topics do we want to talk about? Because if it's too tech information heavy, then you have owners and managers and those don't get what they really wanted to get out of it. If it's all manager owner related topics, the tech is that's not for them. So it is a challenge to put out a program. And one thing that we ask everybody to do, there's a survey they fill out, and it's used very heavily to say, hey, what would you like to see us do? What are we not doing? What can we do different? What can we offer that you would like to see? And then find the people to do it.
No, it's been good. I've seen the evolution, and that's cool to see. Thank you guys for coming, and
thank you.
Thanks for all the service.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Thank you. Take care.